When we reach our 60s, we start to pay closer attention to every little movement in our legs. Sometimes it's just a heavy feeling when standing up. Other times, it's a noticeable slowness when climbing the same familiar steps. And when someone mentions muscle weakness, the first things we often think of are lack of exercise or not getting enough protein. That's not wrong, but it's not the whole picture either. In today's video, we're going to explore something that might seem unrelated at first glance, but turns out to be a critical piece of the puzzle nerve damage. Yes, those tiny nerve fibers that we rarely think about may actually be silently weakening our legs day by day, draining muscle strength without giving us any real warning. So if you've ever felt like your legs were getting weaker, even though your diet is healthy and you're staying active, the problem might not lie in your muscles at all. It could be rooted in the nervous system itself. And the link between nerve damage and muscle loss after 60 might just surprise you. How exactly do nerves affect muscle strength? And is there any way to protect or even reverse this process? Well, explore these questions, one step at a time, throughout today's video. If this topic feels important to you, please don't forget to like the video to support our channel, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe so you never miss new content focused on aging well. Now, let's dive in. 1. Poor circulation quietly starves the nerves that feed our muscles. There's one thing many of us tend to overlook, is that nerves can't survive without proper blood flow. It sounds simple enough, but this one fact lies at the root of many problems we start to face after turning 60. Let's picture it this way. Our nerves work like tiny electrical wires running throughout the body. But for those wires to transmit signals effectively, they need a constant power supply in this case, oxygen and nutrients carried by the blood. If circulation becomes sluggish or inconsistent, those nerve fibers begin to weaken, almost like a flickering light bulb struggling to stay on due to unstable voltage. And when the nerves start to break down, the muscles are affected almost immediately. That's because muscles can't contract or relax properly unless they receive clear signals from the brain through the nerves. Once that connection is disrupted, even if we're eating enough protein or doing regular exercise, the muscles still won't rebuild or recover as they should. In fact, recent studies have shown that one of the main causes of peripheral nerve deterioration in older adults is reduced microvascular perfusion, meaning not enough blood reaches the small blood vessels that nourish the nerves. When these tiny vessels become narrowed or clogged, the protective outer layer of the nerve, called the myelin sheath, begins to break down. As a result, signals travel more slowly or may not get through at all. Some people begin to notice tingling in the toes, a prickly sensation at night, or numbness in the soles of their feet. But others may not feel anything until the muscles around the ankles or calves begin to noticeably weaken. At that point, walking slows down, balance becomes less steady, and the risk of falling increases. What's especially concerning is that these changes don't happen overnight. They develop gradually and quietly, which makes them easy to misinterpret as just a normal part of aging or a result of inactivity. But if the true cause is actually impaired blood flow starving the nerves, then simply waiting it out or trying to exercise more won't solve the core problem. Take, for example, someone in their 60s or 70s who eats well and goes for walks every day. On the surface, they seem quite healthy. But let's say they've also had high blood pressure or elevated cholesterol for several years. Even without experiencing a stroke or a major cardiovascular event, they might start noticing that stairs feel harder, their legs feel weaker, or they occasionally lose control when walking briskly. These could all be subtle signs that poor circulation is gradually damaging their motor nerves without them realizing it. So what can we do to improve this situation? The first step is to support healthy circulation. Managing blood pressure and cholesterol plays a major role when both are under control. The small blood vessels throughout the body, especially those feeding the nerves, are less likely to narrow or become inflamed. That means better oxygen and nutrient delivery to distant areas, like the hands and feet. Beyond that, a few simple daily habits can go a long way in promoting better blood flow. For instance, we can start the morning with a few gentle ankle rolls or foot stretches before getting out of bed. In the evening, rather than staying seated for too long, taking a few slow laps around the house after dinner can help stimulate circulation to the lower legs. These may sound like small gestures, but they're surprisingly effective in keeping blood moving where it's needed most. We can also take advantage of certain natural foods that support circulation and protect the integrity of blood vessel walls. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines are rich in omega-3s, which help reduce inflammation in the arteries. Berries and red grapes contain polyphenols that promote vascular health. And beets offer a natural source of nitric oxide, which helps blood vessels gently expand and improves blood flow to the extremities. Still, the most important takeaway here is to truly understand that blood is the lifeline of our nervous system. If we allow our arteries to become hardened, narrowed, or clogged without proper care, muscle loss after 60 can progress far faster than expected, no matter how good our diet or exercise routine may be. 2. Spinal degeneration silently compresses nerves and weakens the leg muscles. We often assume that back pain is simply a musculoskeletal issue. But what many of us don't realize is that degeneration in the spine can have a direct impact on leg strength. And not necessarily through pain, but by silently disrupting the signals that nerves send to our muscles. After we pass 60, it's common for the spine, especially the lower back, to go through some natural wear and tear. The discs between the vertebrae begin to flatten. Ligaments lose their flexibility. Tiny bone spurs may even start to form. All of these changes can gradually narrow the openings in the spine, called foramina, where nerves exit the spinal cord and travel down to the legs. When that space tightens, those nerves can get pinched. It may not sound serious at first, but this compression is at the heart of many issues, like leg weakness, nighttime cramping, or even numbness in the feet. When nerves get compressed in the lower spine, the signals they carry down to the muscles in our legs are disrupted. At first, we might just notice a heavy feeling in the legs, a little numbness, or a buzzing, electric sensation running down the thigh. But if this continues, the affected muscles stop receiving regular signals to contract and stretch, and when muscles aren't stimulated, they begin to shrink just like a casted arm that starts to atrophy after weeks of no movement. What makes this condition tricky is how quietly it begins. Many people don't even notice back pain. Instead, they suddenly find it harder to climb steps, feel their legs shake when standing for long periods, or lose confidence when walking through crowded areas. In these cases, the real problem might not be in the legs at all, but in the pinched nerve roots in the lower back. This can affect key muscle groups like the glutes, hamstrings, and calf muscles, the very muscles that give us stability and power. A major study published in the journal Spine in 2023 highlighted this link clearly. It found that adults over 60 with lumbar spinal stenosis, a common feature of spinal degeneration, were losing leg muscle mass at nearly double the rate of those with a healthy spine. That's a powerful reminder of how closely nerve signals and muscle strength are connected. There's something else worth noting here. This kind of nerve-related muscle loss can't be fixed by nutrition or exercise alone. If the root problem is nerve compression, then even if we're eating enough protein, taking collagen supplements, or doing squats every day, the muscles won't fully recover as long as the signal from the brain is still blocked at the spinal level. So what can we do to ease the effects of this condition first? Our daily posture and movement habits matter more than we might think. Sitting in one position for too long, bending the wrong way to pick something up, or sleeping on a mattress that's too soft can all add unnecessary strain to the spine. If we often spend time watching TV or reading, placing a small cushion behind the lower back can help support its natural curve. And standing up to walk around every 30 minutes can take pressure off the spine and keep nerves from getting pinched. In addition to posture, gentle stretching exercises that focus on the lower back and hips can help reduce nerve compression. Simple movements like knee-to-chest stretches while lying down, slow hip rotations, or even just lying on your side and hugging a pillow while breathing deeply can all relax the muscles around the spine. This creates more space for the nerve roots and reduces irritation. A diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods can also help minimize swelling in the areas around spinal degeneration. Ingredients like ginger, turmeric, fatty fish, and dark leafy greens are known to support nerve tissue and calm chronic inflammation that may worsen compression over time. Finally, one crucial step that many people overlook is routine spinal health checkups. If you've ever had sciatica, a slipped disc, or ongoing leg weakness without a clear cause, imaging tests like an MRI or a nerve conduction study could reveal whether a spinal nerve is being pinched. Catching this early allows for timely intervention, which can prevent long-term nerve damage that may not be reversible later on. So far, we've uncovered two key pieces of the leg strength puzzle that many people never consider first. Nerve damage caused by poor circulation can starve the nerves that keep muscles strong. Second, compressed nerves due to spinal degeneration can silently block signals from reaching those same muscles. Both of these mechanisms have one thing in common. They disrupt the flow of communication between the brain and the muscles in our legs. And once that signal is compromised, our muscles begin to weaken, even if we're eating well and staying active. In short, if your legs have been feeling unusually weak after 60, if you've been dealing with cramps, numbness, or trouble keeping your balance, it may not be a simple matter of aging muscles. The issue could be buried deeper in the nerves themselves, and that means protecting our nerves is just as important as feeding our muscles. The good news is that we can start with small but meaningful changes that have long-lasting effects. We can adjust our diet to support better circulation. We can practice light back stretching to reduce pressure on nerve roots. And we can maintain a steady habit of gentle, age-appropriate movement every day so both our muscles and our nerves stay awake, responsive, and strong. If today's video helped you understand why your legs may be weakening after 60, please hit the like button and share it with someone who might need it. Leave us a comment below if you have questions about leg pain, muscle loss, or want us to dive deeper into specific stretches or food plans in a future video. And be sure to subscribe so you never miss our latest updates on healthy aging. Well, see you again soon in our next video.